Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. It's 6. I'm about to show you how to make beats for NARDO WICK, like his new album, Wick. Let's just get right into it. All right, I'm gonna give you a little preview of the beat, then I'm gonna be breaking down, and then I'm gonna show you how I made it. All right, so the first thing that I started off with was Contact. I used Playbox. It's this dope bank that kind of just like generates random sounds, puts random sounds together, because you can just come up with stuff that you would have never came up with. So I just placed down these notes, and the way that Playbox works is that it has chords built in. So it's just playing chords. This is what it sounds like. It just repeats that. Second thing that I added was this bass from Demonizer by Wizard and DB. Just following the same root notes. Next thing I added was another Contact bank. This one's called Lures. It's kind of like string. It just sounds really cinematic. It's just dope. But yeah, I placed these chords down, and this is what it sounds like. So as you see, I'm kind of following the same progression. I'm just using the tension notes because these are the notes in the scale that are right next to each other, so they sound dark. So that's why I'm doing that. Yeah, it's just really simple. All I did was I made a minor chord. I made the tension notes right next to each other, right? And then I pitched up the middle part in octave. And if you're wondering how am I selecting just this and then going up and down, you just hold Command or Control if you're on Windows, and then left click drag, highlight them all, and then you can press Command or Control. You can go down arrow or up arrow for octaves, or you can do shift down for semitones. Later into the beat, I added this brass right here, following the same root note as the bass. This sound right here is actually from the Tronaholics kit by DB and Wizard. This is one of my favorite drum kits of all time. Considering that it also has some extra sounds, is dope. If you want to get this kit, you can actually use my code Robert6 for 10% off on the producercrate.com. I'll leave that in the description. The next thing I added is also from Contact. It's this bank called Balkan Ethnic Orchestra. It's crazy. If you want to make ethnic stuff, definitely get this. And here's the chords. As you see, it's literally the same thing as earlier. Same chords. Remember when I pitched up the middle, just like that. I'm using the tension notes. Instead, I'm doing stabs, so it's like shorter notes like this. I'll just play it so you can hear it. So it's more short notes. It's not like longer notes, you know, it's more like stabs. And before I get into the drums, I just want to point out that on this Contact bank right here for the strings, right when the pre-chorus comes in, I actually pitch it up an octave just to give it a variation. You don't want your melody to be the same thing the whole time, you know? You want the air candy, switching up variation, you know what I mean? All right, moving on to the drums. I kept it super simple, but first I'm gonna start with the snare. So all I did was a simple snare, but then I added this one extra note right here. And then literally, as you see, I just did this basically. It just copied, it's the 2 bars just copied throughout the entire pattern. Then moving on to the hi-hat, same thing, it's just these 2 bars, and then it's the whole pattern. So how I come up with this is just simple. I just went to 3rd step, did a little roll right here. I like to do these little low notes just to give it extra rhythm. It's kind of almost like it dips down. Pay attention closely and you'll be able to hear what I'm saying. You hear what I mean? It's like, dun, dun, dun. It just adds rhythm and bounce. Then after that, it's a roll. So I went to the 3rd step again, and this is simply just a 3rd step roll. But instead of just painting the whole thing like that, I did every other note of the 3rd step. Then right before the pattern repeats, there's one more note that goes down. Here's what the whole pattern sounds like. And then it just repeats. Moving on to the open hat. So the open hat is super simple. It just hits on every one. And then every 2 bars, it repeats. Moving on to the 808. So for the 808, it literally just follows the same progression as the bass. And you never want to overthink the 808 too much. The 808 should have a consistent bounce and rhythm. You know, you want to leave room for the artist. But yeah, let me just play it so you can get an idea. And as you see right here, before it repeats again, I just went up one more note. And that's pretty much the whole beat. And then let me show you how I arranged it. We have the intro, it's just 8 bars, and then it immediately comes into the chorus. But let me show you what I did right here. So it's kind of like stopping, as you heard in the intro. So 8 bars into the chorus, right before it drops into this section, I cut out the snare to give it sort of like a transition. right when it drops, I take out the hi-hats until the snare hits, so it comes back in right on the snare. And then I did a little cut at the end of every one of these bars right here, just so it gave it like a stopping. Here, I'm gonna just play it so you can really hear what I mean. It's gonna give the artist like a creative thing to do right there. It's cool to add these little things because then the artist hears just like, oh, I could do this on this part. Like it gives them ideas and stuff. Then I bring the choir in, and as you see, these patterns are different. I made them unique. So this one is an octave down, then the next one is an octave up, just to give variation, you know what I mean? Like I said before, you don't want it to get boring. You want it to keep evolving as a beat. And as you see, all these drum sounds are from DeWizard and DB. Like I literally only use their sounds. They have the hardest drum sounds. So like I said earlier, if you want to go get their kit, it's gonna be in the description. So now you know how to make beats for NARDO WICK, but now you probably want to know how to get it placed, right? There's this Discord community called Producers Next Up. Basically, the whole idea is that it gives upcoming producers a chance to get something placed. So on this server, once you sign up, it's only $15 a month, but you get access to all these opportunities. There's a bunch of producers here. There are diamond producers on here that are looking for loops. You can send loops to a bunch of people. As you see, there's a bunch of producers on here already, and we just launched this 4 days ago. We're also currently working on getting top sellers on BeatStars, so you can have opportunities to make some money through beat collabs too. So not only would you be getting opportunities to get placements, but you also have opportunities to make some money off of beat collabs. If you want to take your producing career seriously into the next level, I'm gonna put the invite link to the server in the description. Like I said, it is $15 a month, but with all these opportunities that you're getting, it is definitely worth it. And you could possibly make money on this server because of the beat collabs. Anyway, that's the whole beat. I hope this helped you. If it did, drop a like, subscribe with the notification bell on. This has been Six. Peace out, y'all.